Here we go, here we go, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in downtown Bakersfield. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's the podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. We got our producer, Eric, over there on the couch. How you doing?
Let's go. We're back. We're feeling good today.
Feeling good. Lots of energy. I was just looking at your hat, and did I ever tell you, like, my first job was at Walmart?
No.
Oh, man, my second job was at Walmart. And it reminds me of the colors. It's a sick hat, but the colors remind. I was like, wait, is he wearing a Walmart hat? But it's not. It's a cool hat.
Manifest clothing. Shout out.
Yeah, we are loaded on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, June 18th, the morning in which we saw Justin Timberlake ruin NSYNC and the whole reputation. He just was arrested earlier this morning for a DWI. And so we'll touch on that. Got lots going on. So we'll talk about, just coming off Father's Day weekend. You notice that there's no love or day or appreciation for single people who have no kids or no relationship, not married. No love. No love. Just something to bring to light. There's Father's Day. There's Mother's Day. There's Kid Day. There's appreciation. We'll get into that.
Huh. There's even like National Dog Day.
Dogs get more love than single people do.
Yeah.
We're talking about this top 5 Disney Channel original movies, and what I'm gonna love about this list is that we are gonna forget so many good ones. That it's one of those things where it's like, how could you?
I don't know. I feel like I covered it's all in our own head, but I feel like I covered the ones where you're like, yo, these were the bangers.
Yeah, the ones that you got to. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that. But then it's like the more digging you do, you're like, wait, that movie wasn't on this list. And anyway, so we'll do our top 5 Disney Channel original movies. I got credit card frauded. I don't even know what the whole thing is called, but someone tried to make a purchase on my account. People are, I have a shut the fuck up of the week. Research shows that going to bed after 1 a.m. is like really bad and can have like really bad like mental issues. Yeah. So there's the latest on that. I've rediscovered my love for something, a food. You ever rediscovered your love for anything? Like, you love, and I'll just tell you what it is right now. Pizza. I've always liked pizza. Pizza's been great. But then you rediscover it and you're like, oh, it's a weird thing, but I'll explain what triggered it. Inside Out. What the hell's going on with JLo and Ben Afflec?
I didn't know about that, so I guess I'll learn.
Yeah, so weird stuff going on. Heat waves. I mean, this is just, there's so much going on. We're not going to get to every topic. I'm just looking at the sheet and I was like, what the hell got me to do all this? But before we kick things off, I want to remind you, brought to you by Rev Nutrition. Go check them out everywhere in Bakersfield. You need our favorite product. Part of the reason we have some good energy right now is Define. Get you stocked up on some Define. Right now we're in the middle of finishing up our grape flavor, which is
my favorite.
One of the favorite taste-wise. So you can try it, get it. They all kind of don't miss. So get some of that great cognitive health, get a little sweat. And one of the little things that I love about it, take it late at night when you get those little cravings, have a little Define, a little hunger suppressant in there, get you through the night just fine. Also, check out the Mattress Space Furniture Outlet, my boy C's, right there on Buck Owens Boulevard. It will get you taken care of. You need mattresses, you need sofas, you need kitchen dining sets, whatever it is. Whole bedroom sets for under $500 is crazy. You wouldn't believe it. Tell them we sent you. Buck Owens Boulevard. That was really Mexican of me. Buck Owens Boulevard. Buck Owens Boulevard. Right here in Bakersfield. And if you're not from Bakersfield, you're listening somewhere else, I'm telling you, it's worth the flight, worth the trip, or your money back guaranteed. All right, let's get into the show. Coming off Father's Day weekend, did you do anything fun, anything exciting there?
No, I know for a fact my Father's Day I went hard in the gym that day. Then I was really at home. My stepdad, they just put on corridos and
it's
drank
funny
in the backyard.
It's funny is how much you were all about like Mother's Day, like this and that.
Hey, Dad. Actually,
Hey,
my
Dad, happy Father's Day. See you later.
I had to text my dad because he didn't pick up. He was like in the mountains. They went to like
Oh, hell yeah.
the coast, and I texted him. I think we're all gonna get with him when he gets back. So
Yeah.
that was that. And I always try to acknowledge. I'm actually gonna post a picture of my stepdad today, like acknowledge Happy Father's Day to him too. But
Yeah, big love all the fathers out there, all the good fathers out there.
yeah,
But yeah, it just got me thinking, we're hanging out and doing things, and I was like, the government and the people who create the holiday, who creates holiday, I don't know who does that, but there is no love for people like you and me, Eric. Single people with no kids who, like when you go to your job and you apply for or you do your tax forms, they take out the most. You want to get a house, there's no like tax breaks. When you have families and all these things, and it's just like we don't get a day to be celebrated. There's no hey, happy National Uncle or Auntie Day. There's none of that. There's Mother's Day, there's Kid Day, there's Dog Day, there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, there's Memorial Day, there's Veterans Day, there's every day that you could think of, and they're all deserved, yes, of course. But we don't get shit, man.
What do you get? Like, let's just say there's a National Singles People Day,
or not even like Great Uncle Day. I'm a hell of an uncle. I'll tell you that right now. I'm a hell of an uncle. Play with my nephews. You think about your nephews all the time. You got big love for your nephews. There's a lot of great uncles and aunts that never really get recognized. But you know what? Right here on I Love You, Say It Back, we see you. We honor you. National Uncle and Aunties who don't have their own kids, we see you day is, matter of fact, we'll do it right now. Tuesday, June 18th. That's it. Congratulations.
The day before Juneteenth?
Well, not on that day. The day before. Actually, you know what? We'll have to look for a different day because I don't want it to be coming off the weekend of Father's Day. Yeah. You got to give it some time because then people can get you a good gift. Because after Father's Day, you can probably I just spent money on Dad. Yeah. We need to have our own. But just wanted to say that.
It's there.
Yeah. So we see you. We love you. You may not be celebrated by everyone, but you know what? Right here on I Love You, Say It Back, we love you. We love you a lot. And maybe it's just because we're in that situation. We're like, we need to be loved too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like, there's funkles and fun aunts and, there's people like, hey, take care of my kids while I go do this. It's like, yeah. A little love this way. But we are coming off Father's Day weekend. And as we mentioned, all these other days, it's not to say that they're not deserved. They obviously are. A lot of hardworking dads and people who put in a lot of time and energy into their families. But I thought it was funny. I came across this, and I thought it was just worth mentioning. We did a topic around Mother's Day. It's like, what do moms really want for Mother's Day? And this one said, 15 married men confessed what they look forward to doing when they're finally home alone. So, like, mom and daughter or kids gone for grocery shopping, gone for the weekend. Like, what do guys really want to do? And this is what they said, and I want to read you a couple of them. So one said, I take 5 decorative pillows off the bed and put them in the closet until the morning of their return. They hate the decorative pillows. You can't sleep on them. You can't sit on them. They're just decorative pillows. It's funny, the conversation of like, what the hell are these here for? Nobody goes into our room. What are we decorating for?
Yeah.
Another guy said, I don't speak. I don't play music. I don't have a TV on. I sit in complete silence, reading my phone or whatever, but not having to answer anybody's questions and not having to listen to anybody. I was just in complete silence for 15 minutes. One time, my wife took my kids out of town for the weekend with her sister from Friday night when I got home from work until Monday morning when I got back. I did not speak a word. I just existed. That's funny. Just complete silence, no music, no nothing. Didn't want to answer to anybody. Another guy said, my wife and son went to her parents for a weekend recently to take care of some family business due to a recent death in the family. I went for a motorcycle ride where I really wanted to go, staying as long as I wanted, eating whatever I wanted to. And if I had been wrestling in my own mortality the entire time, it would have been glorious. Instead, it was kind of depressing, if not a little therapeutic. One guy kept it real simple. He said, I turned the AC all the way down. Another guy said, I cooked a package of bacon and saved the drippings. I cook basically everything in that fat until it's gone. My wife and daughter are vegan, so poor guy never gets to never gets to do it really with a vegan wife and daughter. Here's the last one I'll read. It says, finally, got a chance to clean up without anyone saying it. Do it this way. I turned up the music all the way out and bust out the broom, mop, and rags, go outside and smoke and get to it. So simple stuff. Just want to sit in silence, and I'm sure there's probably a couple other things that happen in between there that they didn't want to mention, but, I think we can all fill in the blanks on what that is. So there you go. Happy Father's Day, however you decided to spend it, whoever it was that you spent it with. And yeah, so let's get into the show. So we were talking about Disney Channel original movies, right? We're talking about Disney Channel original movies. These are kind of throwbacks to, this is not like Toy Story or The Lion King or, anything that really came out in theaters, right? This is stuff that you came out when Disney Channel original, when they did the whole thing, like, remember when they would go like the wands and they'd be like, like those kinds of Disney Channel.
There's not one kid that didn't like do the wand, invisible wand in front of their
exactly.
own,
So Disney Channel original movies are top 5. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You want to go one for one?
Yeah. We'll start at 5.
Should we? Okay.
So we'll start at 5. We'll do our list, and then what we'll do is we'll go back over some honorable mentions, and then some other ones that really kind of crossed our minds. So at number 5, I have, remember the movie Motocrossed?
Yeah.
Motocross, about motorcycles, and yeah.
That's one of yours?
That was one of my top 5s. And I did notice a theme as I went on my list, and I'll get to it as maybe some people will pick up on it, but yeah, that's my number 5, Motocross. What's yours?
I remember the actors on it, but it was never one of like my favorites. And it's weird. Anything that passes that 2000 year, I feel like it's a 2001. I was just looking at it right now. But yeah. Anyways, not on my top 5. Cool. So we're different already. Mine's Halloween Town. Super classic. And I mean, that was just one of those ones. It gave you all like the vibes, I feel like, in that time of the year when you're watching it. There's not one person that didn't watch Halloween Town.
Yeah, Halloween Town was great. I thought about it, but I didn't get it on here.
Wow.
Number 4, Johnny Tsunami.
Okay.
Johnny Tsunami was so great, and the surfing, it's a lot of these. I'll just say it now. A lot of these all like had to do with like some kind of sports, some kind of athletics, some kind of motocross racing, some kind of competing thing. So, Johnny Tsunami, number 4. What do you got?
I feel like it's important to watch these movies as kids because like it makes you want to do those things. I've always wanted to surf. Still haven't, but that's
kind of the genius of Disney, where it's like they expose you to so many things where it's like, oh, here's a surfing movie, here's a motorcycle movie, here's a baseball movie, here's a Air Bud, all these sports, and even just moving away from sports, they did all kinds of stuff. So
I feel like you even learn like emotions like about loving and like like I want a girlfriend now.
So the whole reason that this list even kind of came up was Inside Out just came out over the weekend, which had a record-setting like weekend, and it just got me thinking about like I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the first one, but it was described to me. They're like, oh, it talks about emotions and like what you feel. It's like happiness, joy, sadness, like all these things. And I was like, they did such a good job of kind of exposing you to everything that you're gonna feel, everything that you can kind of go through as you're growing up. And they're not all good because some of them are really sad, but that's kind of what triggered this whole list. So that was my number 4, Johnny Tsunami. What do you got?
4 for me is this is an instant classic, Smart House.
Okay, Smart House.
Yeah.
I have that on my list. I just have it higher.
Yeah. It was hard. It was gonna be higher. It's just then when I started looking at my list, I'm like, it can't be higher than these other ones.
So C's actually, I'm looking at some of the people who responded on. I put up something on Instagram, and he said they literally like Smart House predicted like so much. Like now it's like the Alexa.
Bro, it's crazy. And then actually the mom on there, Katie Seagal. She ended up being she was in a lot of movies. It wasn't just that one. She was in a really popular TV show. If you look at a lot of her she's on Future. That's her big one. She's on Futurama too, the cartoon. Shameless, yeah. Sons of Anarchy, Married with Children. That's her big one. That's a big one that she's on. So yeah, she's popular.
Yeah. Okay, so number 3. I've got Luck of the Irish. Luck of the Irish.
And that's a good one. Yeah, it's not on my list, but I'm really glad we're different on these. But Luck of the Irish is a really good one. It just couldn't make my top 5 on the list I have. So that's your number 3?
Yep.
My number 3 is Up, Up, and Away.
Up, Up, and Away is
That
a good one.
Bro, that made me want to be a superhero. Like, so many different... like, if you weren't doing it because of the Marvel characters and, like, cards or, like, just cartoons, I feel like that was the one that you're like, oh, man.
The grandpa's
Yeah.
was cool, too, in that movie.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I just came across... So I looked up Luck of the Irish actor, because sometimes it's fun to look back and like, whatever happened to these guys? Because some of these people don't like disappear. And I was looking up Luck of the Irish cast, and there's this chick who's banging on here. I was like, who the hell is this? Look up ALELO 26 on Instagram. That was the first thing that popped up. She's like light skin. I love her hair. Oh, she is. Whew.
And she was on Luck of the Irish?
I guess so. I don't remember her, but
This is a dude. I guess you think he's hot.
he's banging. His name's Kyle. Pride Month. You got something to say?
I was saying,
She's got a man. I hate that. You ever feel like you're getting cheated
oh,
on?
yeah,
You're
it is
like I feel
instant.
that.
What
wait,
is it? Anything else? Just ALELO?
yeah, her name is Alexis something. Lilo 26.
Lilo 26. All right, now let's see what's going on. Okay, now we're talking.
Like, yeah.
Wait, but who is this?
Dude, I have no idea. I just looked up Luck of the Irish cast, and she popped up. She was the second one. Obviously, the first one was the main character, the guy. His name's Kyle something. And then she popped up, and I was like, I don't remember seeing her. But I do feel, you ever like look at, like I feel this way about Vanessa Hudgens. You ever feel like you're getting cheated on when you have like no relationship? They don't even know who you are. They don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like Vanessa Hudgens announced she was getting married, and I think she's pregnant. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell could you do that to me? Like, you know, like I've loved you since High School Musical, and now you're gonna go out with a different dude and get pregnant. You're gonna go out and get married with some, which by the way, her man's as goofy as hell.
Yeah, I seen him on a
weirdo
podcast.
looking guy.
I seen him on a podcast. The guy's like,
His
he's like,
hair's
how did
ugly.
you get like Vanessa Hudgens? He's like, dude, I don't even know.
Yeah, he's
He's
not
like-
even like a great superstar baseball player. Like
He's
I mean,
nothing.
obviously-
He's literally nothing. He's just like, I don't know. Like, we're cool. But isn't that how it usually happens? You know. Whatever.
I just wish I would have got a chance to meet her. It's one of those like if I would have met you,
Bro, I had a friend that
you
was
definitely would have
in-
rejected me, but I
in
would have had a
love with
chance.
her. Like, so in love with her. And then remember when her news came out? Like, they leaked. Like,
Her
someone
nudes?
hacked into her email.
Dude, I
And her
totally forgot about that.
Remember
Holy
that?
smokes!
Yeah.
Cut
when
this
that
out
happened,
of the podcast.
bro.
But I'm
When
gonna
that
look those
happened,
up.
bro, my homie was like on cloud 9. He's like, bro, So
Okay, we got to get back to this
Next one.
list.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're getting way too. Okay, so Luck of the Irish by number 3. What's your number 3?
I said my number 3 already. You're on number 2.
What was your number 3?
Up, Up, and Away.
Okay, Up, Up, and Away. You're right. Number 2, that's where I have Smart House.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good. It's not a bad. Honestly, it is easily a top 3 for 90% of the world.
Yeah,
But-
and you know what's crazy about that? That movie actually, the lady in the Alexa voice that scared me is like, oh,
Yeah.
like it's dude, it's scary.
It's kind of scary, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that how it is like a modern day like vibe.
yeah.
So mine is, bro. This one actually. Speaking of scary, this one used to scare me a bit, but it's one of my favorite because I loved the actor on there, and I just love the storyline and how they put it together. Don't Look Under the Bed.
Don't Look Under Bed was great,
Oh, bro.
fantastic.
That is instant classic to me.
Yeah, and
so-
and you know, again, going back to the responses on it on Instagram, people are like it really does still scare me. Like
Yeah.
it scares me. Like now, imagine as like a little kid. Like
Yeah.
that was wild.
And the guy that was the main actor, he's kind of looks weird now. I never thought he kind of has like this Prince type of vibe. I'm looking
Okay.
at him.
Now let me say this.
I know what your number one is.
What-
because
I was
we
gonna
both
say,
have
what-
it.
what
we
do you-
both know what our number ones are. 100%.
Okay, I was gonna say, what are the odds that we have the same number one?
10 out of
You think
10.
so?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because they haven't been.
okay, let's say them at the same time.
Okay,
Okay.
three.
Hold on. We'll go on the count of 3, or on the count of 1, I guess.
Yeah, when
We'll
it
go
hits
down.
1.
Okay. 3, 2,
1.
1.
Brink. Easy,
Yep,
bro.
yep.
It's
Brink.
so easy to say that one.
It's so quotable too. Like, we're soul skaters.
Oh my god! There's so many people I feel that are close to our age that know this. They'll be like, bro, like I was at Rollerama, like, or I bought blades and I was. It was a thing, if you went and got blades, I think it had to be at Big Five type of thing.
Yeah.
And if you had money, your parents were buying your blades at like Rollerama or Skateland, but
Yeah, it was super expensive there.
oh man.
But it's funny, dude. Yeah, Brink. I remember that. So it was like we're Team Pup and Suds. There's so many quotables. I remember they would go to like the boardwalk or whatever. I don't remember where they live specifically, but I remember they'd go and skate over to the boardwalk and get like a burger and fries and all that. And be like, man, I want to do that with my friends. Just skate over and like, get your own burger and fries. And it's like those little things that when you're that age, you're like, I just want to do that kind of stuff. That stuff stays like stuck in your brain where it's like, oh man, I want to have friends like that.
And as cool as it were, I kind of was, bro. They made it cool to wear safety like gear, like the elbow pads, the hand pads, and
The helmet. Yes.
the helmet. And
Did you ever ask your parents, you're like, I need wrist guards like for
Yeah,
this? Dude,
yeah.
I went to Walmart and I got the little, I was like, yeah, this is cool. But it's not.
And now looking back, as much as this is our number one, all these dudes were losers. But I don't want to say it that way.
And then even the hairstyle for the main character.
Oh my gosh.
The long hair, the little kind of wet look. Like, that's
Yeah,
funny.
That,
dude.
yeah, that was a lot of gel, I'm assuming. Actually, I didn't. Maybe I do know this, but now I'm looking at the cast. Walter Jones, he was one of the Power Rangers. He was in there. I didn't know that. But yeah, Brink was a cool one. That literally made me turn into. It almost made me want to be an extreme pro like Blader.
That's funny.
Bro.
So we reference back to that movie quite a bit when we golf because so we have some buddies who like truly like so I love golf and I love competing because we play for money. I think that keeps you honest. I think it makes it the most fun. Because let's say you're not playing for anything and you have a bad round, you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna hit it here. I don't even care. Yeah. When you're playing for money, you could at least like, you're like, okay, I gotta get it together. I gotta pick it up. We have buddies who don't play for money. They do it for like love. And we're like, dude, Jesse and Gabe are like, they played for like a Gatorade the other day, and we all just were dying. I know, I feel bad. We're like, you guys played for a Gatorade, but they do truly do it for the love of the game. And they definitely watched the hell out of Brink. They're like, we're soul golfers.
Oh my gosh.
We're soul golfers. We're soul skaters. We're not gonna sell out. And it's funny that now we look at it, they're like, dude, the Team Puppet Suds, they were the ones who were sponsored. They were the ones who were like all this and that. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, it's nice to do things for the love of the game. But Team Puppet Suds is doing it right. They were the big sponsored, nice, fancy equipment. That's all we're trying to do here, folks. That's all we're trying to do here. Get sponsored, get this, trying to make money. They're doing it right. But when you're a little kid, it's way cooler to be like, we do it for the love of the game. We're souls. That all changed as soon as I turned 18. And I had to start paying my own bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know?
That's cool
what?
when you're 13. We do it for the love.
This was a cool movie too. I don't know if you ever watched this one, but this is what I remember the main actor on here from. Remember Leave It to Beaver? Did you
Yeah.
ever watch Leave It to Beaver?
I thought that
the
was a
older
TV
brother.
show.
No, it was a movie.
Oh,
It
okay.
was an actual movie. But do you know who he was the voice for on a Disney movie?
No.
I did not know this right now. Really kind of cool. Did not know this. He's Sid. He's the voice for Sid on Toy Story, all the Toy Stories.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. So he was in that back in the day, like really popular movie scene, like Days of Our Lives and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff that you watch when you're sick from school.
Yeah. He's one of the voices on Hercules, Disney movie. So kind of cool. And Recess, the one you didn't know. Remember? Yeah.
Do you have any honorable mentions? I feel like we got a few to kick around.
I'm gonna throw these out. I only have two. It's one on your list, but it's Johnny Tsunami And I did have another one. I guess I didn't put on the list. Johnny Tsunami was one of them because it was hard for me to throw it in there with the list I had. I just couldn't find a place in the top 5 for it. But go ahead and say one of yours.
So one of mine is Flash. And the only reason it didn't make it is because it made me really sad too. So if you guys remember, a lot of people don't remember this one, but for some reason it's stuck and burned in my brain. Flash is the one about the horse, and this kid lives with his grandparents, and they're poor. They're like really poor. Grandma's sick. He at one point goes to like a funeral home to buy her a casket. And then they can't afford. I remember like there's scenes that are just stick with you forever. There's a scene where he's like, "Hey, what are we having?" They're like from the South. "What are we having for dinner?" And grandma just responds, "We're having leftovers." And it just makes you feel like, damn, like they're really poor. And then I think there comes a point in that movie where he has to sell the horse in order to pay for grandma's like funeral or something like that. I don't remember the specifics, so don't come at me. But that scene was so, like, I cried. And that's the only messed up thing about like Disney Channel is really good at like getting
Tugging
you
on
as a
your
kid,
emotions, yeah.
as a kid. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I was ready for that. Maybe this is why we're all jacked up and screwed up.
Wow, I'm actually okay. I'm gonna say a couple more honorable mentions now. You brought this up earlier, and then I just looked at the cover, bro. This could have made it in my top 5, honestly. But honorable mention still, the Paper Brigade. That was I'm looking at the cover of who was on there. I'm like, oh shoot,
Paper Brigade.
I remember
was great.
this. I don't even know how it never popped up on any of the other lists. That's
That's
like,
exactly what I'm
30.
saying. That's what I was telling you earlier. I was like, there's going to be a whole lot that we missed because they're not even. It's like it'd be nice to have a list of every single one, then you could pick. But there's some. These aren't even, like the Paper Brigade wasn't mentioned on it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was. Did that come out in theaters?
I don't think it may be based off the look of this cover, but I don't think so because it's on the list of Disney Channel premiere films.
Yeah.
That means it wasn't a movie; it was a film under Disney Channel. So no, it was not. Also honorable mention, Suzy Q. I think other people might know. I showed you a little bit of it, but that was
I totally forgot about Suzy Q. But then once you explain it, it's about the girl who's actually dead. But then there's one kid who could actually see her. I think my sister loved that one.
Yep.
And of course, so many of these remind you of like sitting down with your siblings or whatever. It's like, oh, we're watching this
like
together.
while your mom's cooking dinner, or like it's weird stuff. Like it was almost, now that you look back, their way to distract us from not having to worry about us. But they put on some good like Disney shows, and we're like, yo, we're in this. But another one, Genius. I think you're having trouble.
I don't remember that
Genius
one,
was a
but
good
it was
one.
a lot of people on Instagram said Genius, and I was
Yeah.
like, am I missing something?
Yeah, that one, and then Hannibal Lecter. I'm just kidding.
Oh, goodness.
yeah, no, those were the ones. I don't really have
Double Teamed was good. How about My Date with the President's Daughter? Remember that?
I do.
My Date with the President's Daughter. Oh yeah,
Get a clue.
My Date.
There's nothing you can do.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I want to see if people know that remember that one.
Flash, My Date. Mom's Got a Date with the Vampire was good. Don't Look Under the Bed.
We talked about Xenon.
The Ultimate Christmas Present with that machine. That was cool. I remember this movie came out, and this is funny. We got to wrap this up because we're going long on this. But Phantom of the Megaplex came out, and I was like, what the hell's a Megaplex?
What year was that?
That was in 2000. It was about the movie theater, or I guess it's like some kind of theater.
I do remember that, yeah.
And I remember I was like, what the hell's a Megaplex? But that's where I learned is some kind of like theater. But Cadet Kelly, Get a Clue.
Oh, we forgot
the
one.
13th year.
Jet Jackson, the movie.
Jet Jackson.
That was one. I remember
it's based
that
off the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's
wow.
our list
you
there.
Said Double Team?
Halloween Town.
No,
remember that's the basketball.
WNBA.
The twin basketball girls.
Yeah. Outside of that, I think there's one more, and it's that we didn't get to see. Oh, you brought this up. The 13th year. That was actually a really popular one, but it just didn't really do it for us. You know
and then, okay, so not my personal favorite, but one that's burned in my brain and part of my upbringing, the Xenon ones. Because my sister would be like, oh, hey, sit down, or like, we're watching this. I'm like, yes, we are.
My gay brother, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're in space. And then this one,
and
last
don't forget
one.
to add the O-rings.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Under Wraps. It was like the mummy dude. And I remember that vaguely, but I do remember that was one too. So that's pretty much. I feel like we went through so many right now, but those are our top 5.
And you know, what's funny is that people are still going to be like, "How could you leave out blank and blank?" Well, just whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, you
Keep in
can't.
mind, let's clarify this. These are Disney original channel premiere movies, not like Mighty Ducks, Heavyweights that went in the theaters. These are the ones like that came out on Disney. You can watch. They were pretty consistent on
Absolutely.
the channel.
Yep. So there you go. And I remember they would come out like once, they'd have like one a month, and it'd be like, oh, in the next month we're gonna drop this, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
So things that really just kept us, you know, like looking forward, like, oh yeah, Disney Channel. Anyways, so so there you go. Disney top 5 Disney Channel original movies. We'll have to make a graphic and post that up on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a story that's not as fun, and I'll just make a quick mention of this because it's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying. Like, and let me just say this: if you are a person who's a hacker who's listening to this podcast right now,
Oh yeah.
F you, Jake. That's probably you. You probably know how to do that.
Jake stole your credit card.
Yeah. I got on Sunday. I was watching the U.S. Open Championship, which, by the way, was absolutely electric. One of the best finishes I've ever seen, and it just went back and forth and lead and whatever. But I was watching, and I get a notification on my phone, and it said, "Do you recognize this transaction?" It was a message from Wells Fargo, and it was telling me that someone had made a purchase for like $197 on my card for GameStop. And I was like, oh, I don't recognize that. I was like, I don't even have $197 in my account.
Yeah.
And so it said, do you recognize this? And I was like, no, I don't. So essentially you have to call, you have to let them know like, hey, that wasn't me, which means that the card is compromised, which is fine. I'm not too worried about like the money. They always are able to get you the money back.
Yeah.
So that's not like, I'm not like, oh, I lost all that money. It's not that, because, you know, once they know, I mean, there was suspicious activity for a reason. They know I don't go to GameStop and spend $200. But the problem is that now it goes through the whole thing of like, I think I got my Spotify on my card. All the things that I had like auto paid on the card, that's the annoying part. And I wish I had my wallet to show you guys my card. My card, have you seen it? My red
Well, it's that one black
card
guy on there, right?
Yeah,
That
it's got
sits
with the big penis.
Yeah.
Just hanging down. No, it's broken on both sides, but it still works. Like the chip
Yeah.
still works. But I've been holding on to that so that I don't have to go through
It
and kind
forces
of
you
like,
to-
yeah. And I'm just like, well, you know what? Like,
Bro, I still
I
don't even
guess-
have a wallet from my stuff being stolen. I walk around my business card and my debit card, bro, and my passport.
yeah, I mean, it's just the worst, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's rough. So that's kind of a shitty thing going on this week. It's just, you know, it's almost like when you get your card, have you ever had your car broken into, like your
Yeah.
actual car? You get into your car and you feel violated. You're like, someone is in here going through all this crap.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even want to touch a steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's just not a good feeling. But
Yeah.
but congratulations. I thought Joke was on them. I thought that transaction should have got declined. They're like, this guy only has 17 cents in account. Nice try trying to make a $200 purchase at GameStop, nerd.
Yeah.
So if you're a hacker, stop. You're an asshole. Because now I got to go through and switch out everything from auto pay.
Yeah, you know, sometimes they get your number, your card number, just they run it. They keep running it and doing different numbers until they get a match.
I know.
Or-
It's insane.
So it really might have not even been someone like.
Yeah,
was
it's really
around
like
you.
an AI thing, like a program that just
Yeah.
kind of just runs a million numbers, which is crazy in itself. Maybe I should change my password out of 1111, but my PIN 1234. I'm gonna get real exotic with it.
0000.
Yeah. So yeah, that's no fun. But you know, getting my card hopefully this weekend, it'll be a brand new one, and just got to go through it. And there's always one that you forget. You're like, damn it, now I have an over or late fee on this because I forgot to switch that one out of it. But I guess we'll find out. Stick around, and I'll let you know how many I missed out on. Before we get into our shut the fuck up of the week, have you ever? And I think I lightly touched on this. Have you ever like rediscovered your love for something?
Yeah.
So rediscovered my love, and this has actually happened like 2 or 3 times in my life. I think we can all say like pizza's good. Pizza's really good, and it will always be good no matter what. Even if pizza's average, you're like, yeah, it's still pretty damn good. So I've been getting these Instagram, you know, how things pop up on your feed where it's like, oh, not necessarily ads, but hey, you're into this. So it's like once I watched a full video on Instagram about pizza, it said, "Damn, this guy likes pizza. Let's give him more of the pizza content." So I've been getting a lot of pizza content, and there's this Neapolitan style like pizza that I've been getting a whole lot of content from. And this guy makes it in his kitchen, and he like crunches the crust of it. And I'm telling you, Eric, it something happens every time I feel that crunch. Every time I hear that crunch, every time like, and it's totally like reawakened to love. Now the only problem is that I'm craving specifically that style of pizza, and I don't know if we have any like that in Bakersfield.
You haven't been to New York, huh?
I haven't been.
Oh my gosh, bro! Hopefully we can go one day. The pizza out there, I used to, you know, you dream
Is it
about.
really as good as?
It's weird. It's this very weird thing. But then if you really think of this, you know how there's no better Mexican food in the United States than in California. Like you have to be in Cali to get like some of the top Mexican food in the United States. This is what it is. Like you can't go to Texas. Like people think because you're close to the border. No, like you have to be in LA type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? New York, we always are told about their pizza. There's like crack cocaine in their pizza, bro. And I went to one of the ghetto spots. I didn't even go to like
Probably were the best.
maybe it was a train station to get back to like New Jersey or wherever I was
It's
going.
like when they tell you if you want real good food, it's like go to a place that doesn't have an A, has like a C. Or like,
Bro, yeah. It threw me out. Bro. Like you're biting it, you're eating it, you're tasting the flavor. You're like, how is this better than any pizza I've ever? And I'm pretty basic, bro. I'll get the pepperoni and cheese. That's how you know if a pizza's really good. If that's good, you could throw the extras on it. You know.
That's wild. Yeah.
But, bro, that pizza. Oh my god. So that's what you found. I thought you.
I
liked
rediscovered.
pizza
I know
still.
I've always liked it, but what I'm saying is like it reawakened. It's almost like, I don't know, being in a relationship, right?
Yeah, being sweet.
You're in love with a person and you are married to this person, and the love's always there. I know I love this person. I know I appreciate this person. But then something happens. There's a trip or an anniversary or something that just kind of reawakens. You're like, I'm fucking in love with you. I love you so much.
Yeah.
And I've always loved you. But if something happens,
Now I want to hold your hand again.
I want to hold your, yeah, and that's
wanna
kind of the
slap your
beautiful.
butt.
Yeah, I want to slap your butt, and like girls love that, bro. They
I
love.
wonder-
It's
I
like
wonder
when
why
it's
they
your
like that.
person. When it's your person, they love that, and
Yeah.
it's just such a.
But some girls actually don't.
Well,
and
yeah,
I
if you
wonder
got no
why.
ass.
Yeah. Hit this. Hit like a ding. on a rock.
Yeah, yeah, girl.
Ow. Yeah. You
Now
have a
we're both
bruise on
hurting.
your hand.
Yeah. Now we're both bruised.
Yeah, so mine, I don't know. I don't want to call it like I can reference to like understand. Like for example, I didn't eat Spam for like years and years for a long, long time. But I remember like one day, I don't know how it happened. We're at my brother's or my mom like made it, and like I don't know if you guys cut it this whole, like the slices. It got added to corned beef hash is actually something I love, but I only have maybe once every 5 years. So those are the things like I rediscover. I'm like, oh, those are actually really good. Why did I stop eating it?
So Spam, I have an interesting relationship and story with Spam. So first of all, let me just say I don't know if I've ever had Spam in my life. I've never physically taken a can out or taken a can of Spam out of whatever and added it to whatever people add it to, like eggs or bites. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how they cook it or how they do.
Yeah.
Is it edible right out of the can where you don't have to cook
yeah,
it? Or
essentially, yeah. That's why it was a Great Depression food. I don't know if you knew the history behind Spam. Everyone really loves Spam because it essentially known to last forever.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes in a can like that,
It
and
tastes
comes,
better in Hawaii.
It comes. I'm
pineapples
sure
on
it does.
pizza.
You fucking asshole.
But that Spam is really popular in Hawaii. They put it on everything.
So me and you can ask Joel about this. Is 100% true. It kind of like ruined the whole Spam situation for us because when we were living at the house, we had a roommate who was a girl, wonderful girl, sweetest. It was 3 guys living in that house, and there was one girl. She was from out of town. She was going to CSUB, and she was living in that house with us. And I'm telling you, all she ate was Spam on eggs, spam on, and I couldn't even think about, like, you know how you bring your groceries and you're like, this goes in the fridge, this goes in the pantry, this goes in here. Literally, her whole pantry or her whole like fridge section, it was all spam, 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 and it became kind of like a running joke. You're like, damn, Helen loves spam. So we was kind of like, that's kind of gross, you know, like overdoing anything would be like too much. So
Hey,
spam.
you want to make out? Spam mouth?
Yeah.
Heck no.
But you can really rediscover love for anything. But pizza, those algorithms on Instagram have just been pumping this pizza at me, and it's just like, I need that. Which, by the way, do you have T-Mobile? Who do you have?
Yeah, I got T-Mobile.
Do you do the T-Mobile Tuesdays thing?
I deleted the.
I did too.
I deleted it because I needed space on my phone.
Yeah, I deleted it years ago.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I got a notification. It said, "Hey, don't forget you got good deals on here." I was like, "Oh yeah, they used to give away like free food and stuff."
Bro, my mom, bro. It honestly, part of the reason I deleted it, I'd get calls every Tuesday or Monday from my mom and my sister. They're like, "Don't forget to get the code. We're all gonna go get Jack in the Box or give me free or they're like, they're giving them free phone cases or a free backpack." And I'm like, Ma, I'm not gonna go through this, getting the code, screenshot and sending you guys, or going with you. I'm just not doing it.
It's so funny, bro. But they actually
do.
have like legit good stuff. Like, it's so
free
true.
movies, like
Dude,
everything, bro.
So I get my Netflix off there. They got Hulu and Apple TV, so you can get all those included in your plan. This is not a T-Mobile ad, by the way, but if T-Mobile and you're listening, hey, jump on. We'd love to have you. We already have you, period. So the week that I re-downloaded it, bro, they were giving away $2 Little Caesars pizzas. $2. And I looked at it right now. This is a Tuesday. Earlier this morning, I looked at it. They're giving away $2 like orange chicken bowls, which I'm gonna go eat after this because I'm starving.
Yeah.
But $2 chicken bowls, like. And then last week they had a free burger from like Freddy's. Never had Freddy's in my life.
Freddy's is good, actually.
Freddy's is solid.
I just don't like how they make the patties like so thin, but
Yeah,
they're good.
yeah. So they make them like an automatic double. So,
Yeah.
anyways, free stuff. If you haven't downloaded it and you have T-Mobile, like there's a little something for me to you, and they have like discounts on hotels and cars and stuff like that. So, don't say we don't love you, because if you have T-Mobile, we got you hooked up.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Rediscovered pizza. Okay, let's get into my shut the fuck up of the week. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this, Eric, but, and I'm gonna pull up the little article here just to kind of have this. As I'm looking it up, by the way, the Celtics won the championship last night, and the reporter, oh my gosh, the reporter freaking asked one of the guy who had a busted grill on the Celtics, "Let's see that pretty smile." And it's
She
just
said
like,
that?
go look at my Instagram video right now.
That, but I thought that
She
was
said
you.
it. She said, "All right, bring over." She's like, "Let's see that pretty smile." Go look at her, dude. I couldn't believe she said it. You got to be more aware of a busted grill.
I thought you were like just posting that with the caption saying, "Let's see that pretty smile." But I was like, ah.
She said it. She said it. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, or if we cut this up, like, you know, it's bad when they start licking their, like.
He's going to get his teeth fixed for sure after that.
Well, in fairness, he never had the straightest smile, but he did fall to the floor where it chipped the tooth earlier in that game.
Yeah, but when your teeth are facing towards the ground already.
Yeah. Bro, I thought that was so. I was like, she did not just ask that. That's hilarious. Okay, so here's the headline that is my shut the fuck up of the week. So basically, it says, study says that Gen Z and young millennials prefer flip phones over smartphones. And they're basically saying, like, they've been so caught up, they've been so overwhelmed, their time has been so consumed by social media or apps or games or social media. We could really blame like 90% of this, but you get what I'm saying. They're spending too much time on their phones, so they're opting to go back to what they're considering dumb phones, right? A flip phone, a Motorola Razr or something like that. And so it says Gen Z and young millennials prefer flip phones over smartphones. Shut the fuck up. It's cool to say out loud. It's cool to say in theory. It's cool to be like, I'm going to say this because But there's no way we're going backwards. There's no
Yeah.
way. Okay, like let's say like, hey, that sounds cool. I don't want to be on my phone as much, and then I'm gonna give you a Razor, or I'm gonna give you one of these phones that has no social media. Let's see how long you last, because it sounds cool to say out loud.
I feel like they try to like go back to our era so bad because we were the last era that got to live a real life without technology.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what's that like? Well, you'll never know.
Well, it was mainly our childhood, because at what age did you get your first phone? I think I was like 11 or 12 when I got my first phone.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I was 11 or 12 when I got it.
Like
it was
fake
middle
phone?
school.
Like
No, I got a real
from
phone. I mean,
Toys R Us?
No, it was like, I remember I was so I graduated.
no way.
I was 12, because that was my 8th grade graduation.
Bro, I didn't. Let me say this. I did have friends that had phones in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't get a phone till my senior year.
No.
Yeah.
But see, that's not as weird as like a senior
It doesn't
now.
sound. Yeah.
A senior now having like
Yeah.
that's unheard of.
Yeah, but we like. What's the first? I already know what you're gonna say. I think our generation says right. What's the first phone that comes to your mind when you think of a flip phone?
Razor.
A Razor.
Yeah.
That was the coolest damn phone. And honestly, back then they were expensive. I think. You know
That
what
was
I had?
that was the big
You know
phone.
what I had? It was that, and I never got to have it. But my boy made it so popular because he was like the high school athlete, like in town. He had the Sidekick.
The
That thing
Sidekick,
was
is that the one that
bad.
flipped
That
up?
flipped up.
Yeah,
and
it had Snoop Dogg and everybody.
Yeah,
on it.
everyone had that fucking thing. So I actually, my first phone never worked, but I was on the Viper at Six Flags. A phone
no.
hit me in the head on the loop, and it got stuck under my butt. And at the end of the ride, I had a Nokia phone, and it had this. Remember Snake?
Yeah.
That I kept it.
You kept the phone.
Yeah, I kept it.
You never went back.
It was my first phone ever. They couldn't track phones back then, but people did keep calling it, but no signal. Went back over the grapevine.
Tough luck.
Yeah, I got to play the game Snake for years. And that phone, dude, it was a brick. It got hit by a tank.
I'm surprised you didn't die when it hit
I think
you.
I
in the head.
yeah.
It's
I
a
don't
lie.
know.
I think I'm a little off because of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to say out loud, and I think it's the one
Yeah.
thing. You know, you remember when you were a little kid and you would say things. You're like, "Oh, the adults are gonna say this. I'm gonna tell the adults that I listen to the Beatles. I don't fucking listen to
Yeah.
the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or Vicente Fernandez. And they just want to be cool. We're like, oh, around. I'm gonna say it to one adult around other adults.
Yeah.
So then those adults could be like,
Hey,
"See,
look at this
kid,
old soul.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Look at
kid's
this.
going somewhere.
This kid knows.
Yeah.
You ever say some corny shit? You're
yeah,
like,
and then the parent
I
that
don't
thinks
like
it's
the
cool.
new music.
The parent that thinks it's cool to show their son, like, hey, guess what my son's listening to this morning? What? The Beatles.
Yeah.
Who
the
would've thought?
Fugees.
Yeah.
Raised them right? Pat on the back from me. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up.
yeah, no one cares.
You got to shut the fuck up for us this week.
Man, I feel like we could go into a couple of those within that category, but I will throw it in there with those the Gen Zs and stuff like leave our era alone, you know.
Leave our era alone.
Even my
You're
nephew.
very defensive about your upbringing in the sense of like, I don't know if defensive is the right word, but like you cherish that a lot. Where it's like,
bro, yeah.
And I feel like this goes into a lot of things in your life. You are very protective about, I don't know if you noticed this or if anybody's ever told you this, you're very protective of Bakersfield. Like as in a sense of like, you
Yeah,
take a lot of
fucking-
pride in being from here and
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know if doing right by Bakersfield is kind of the right thing, but you know, defending and highlighting a lot of its positive things.
Yeah, because I feel like we get so much negative feedback on the city, but I mean, I feel like you really have to connect with the environments that we have to enjoy it. Most people are like, "Oh, Bakersfield sucks." Boy, we gotta come here, and I think you really have to submerge yourself, like in doing the things. Like go to Zama's, go to the movies. Honestly, pass through Cottonwood, like. Maybe
Click
don't
the
get off. Yeah,
lockdown.
don't maybe not get off or nothing.
Don't
but like,
get off.
But like drive through the neighborhoods. Like, bro, you know what I love to do when I'm in LA, and obviously I go a lot. I like going to like Inglewood, bro. Like I had family that like grew up there. I like going to like driving down Crenshaw, the popular. Bro, me and Corey one time went to Jack in the Box on the way to the fights, but we were in we were in one of the. We might have been in Crenshaw or like Inglewood. We were on a super ghetto street, bro, where at the Jack in the Box, it looks like a bank. When you're ordering, they give you your food through like bulletproof glass.
Oh shit.
And Corey's in there wearing like a Rolex. I'm wearing like my gold chain. I'm we're going to the fights, the boxing matches at this the Chargers stadium, I think. So I remember Corey's like, I'm leaving. I'm going inside the car. I said, all right, I'll stay. I'm used to this. Like he probably is too. But it's for me, it's like I'm having a conversation with the dudes like that are in there that it was just a normal thing. I love that stuff.
Just
bro.
missing the bars.
I just love it. When I go to Mexico, like when I went to Cancun, I was by myself, but I had some friends out there. I took the bus into like the inner city of Cancun, like the downtown, where like it's the core of like Mexico in there. So like you have the canopies. They're actually making tacos like out there. I love that stuff. Bro.
Yeah. But yeah, you're protective about it, and I think it's kind of a cool thing. So, you take a lot of pride in that whole thing. But okay, so go ahead and finish your shut the fuck up. Just kind of like leave our.
Yeah, just leave our generation alone. Like I feel like everyone's trying to go back, or you know what I don't like. Everyone tries to say like our generations aren't that much different, and they so are. Like you can't act like what is it, the Gen Zs? Because what are we?
Millennial. Well, we're younger millennials because there's millennials that are like mid 40s.
Yeah. So I feel like they try to act like they're not that much different from us, and they 100% are. You guys grew up in a tech, like we grew up on the borderline before and after. So we have this different transition phase of it. They didn't have a transition phase. They
grew up with it, yeah.
You guys are just transitioning with the evolution of technology. We didn't have that evolution. We had like, I really want you to find out, bro, if you really had a phone at 11 or 12.
It was 12. Because that's when I graduated middle school, and that was my gift.
What did they give you?
A cell phone.
What kind of cell phone?
It was a Nokia. I mean, it wasn't like a flip phone or anything. It was a Nokia.
But what would you do with it? Did you really ever use it? Like, or did you go back to the house phone?
Texts, like.
Oh yeah, we're from the era where you had limited text and calls, like the minutes.
Yeah, you had to protect it. You had to end the phone call before.
Yeah, I got 5 minutes.
Like a minute. Yeah.
Or you'll do the whole I don't have a lot of text. It was remember the T9.
Yep.
You can't act like you know what T9 is. You might have heard of it, but you don't know what that really is. You know what I'm saying? I was fast on the T9 too.
The only thing that because I do believe that things get better and things progress. Like just because that was the era that we grew up, I don't necessarily think like, oh, that's better. That was way cooler. There's some aspects that are cooler now, and there's some aspects that are way cooler
100%.
now. What I will say is that we're in the trenches. We're in the trenches as far as social media, like normalcy. Like if you're watching this, like right now, everybody's cool with a phone, pulling out your phone, pulling out this. But when we first started doing that, it was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you on your phone? Why are you talking to your phone in the middle of the street? And I was like, we took all this shit to normalize it for everybody who's out here now. That's the only thing I got.
The reel you showed me, remember? Awkward things to do in the airport.
Dude, that's
that
funny.
Is gold, bro.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
I want to go back and watch.
That was so. You need to send me because I was trying to tell my homie about it, and it did not sound funny.
Explaining
I
it.
have to show him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, I don't like it. I think it's like, I think it's really corny when people try to like act like they're part of our era and they weren't. And did you see the military thing where they passed a bill where 18 to 26 you're automatically put into the military draft type of thing?
I did not see that.
Really? It's been circulating everywhere.
Wait.
Yeah.
So we're having another draft?
No, it's just a bill saying that if you're 18 to 26, you're automatically put in it. So you're gonna, if we have a war, it's essentially you're I don't want to say you're going, but you're probably gonna
go.
Go. Yeah. So new bill wouldn't. But here's the thing: U.S. House automatically registers men 18 to 26 years old for the draft. But it's funny, Cardi B, when she's like, they just did this. She's like, we're effed. She's like, you guys are getting a whole bunch of TikTokers. Like, they're gonna die. So I hope you guys know these people are dead. Like, Yeah, I hope you know if you're going and you're 18 to 26, you're probably gonna die because they're saying our shit's soft, bro. And
I don't, I don't know when we had the last draft, but our motherfuckers back then were built different
yeah,
than the dudes.
Captain America's, bro.
Even we're soft compared
Yeah.
to like the dudes who were in the
Yeah.
40s and 30s who were eating spam as a no other option.
Yeah.
We're eating here as an option, but dude, that is funny.
But it
the
also
whole
includes
TikToker
girls.
thing.
It includes women. It include. So they say young men, but I seen a thing where it said it includes women and everyone else. But
Remember the exception to that was like if you are an only male in your family, the only one who can carry on the name for
Really?
yeah. I remember I was held on to that. I was like, I have 3 sisters and I'm the only boy, so I was like, I'm staying.
honestly, bro, I'm in that weird, like in my like heart of hearts, like I love to protect. So like I feel like I'd be that guy. Like I think I've told you if they're like, hey, the world's gonna end unless someone goes push that button on the moon to blow up that asteroid. I'm like, I'll go. I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to go. You'd be like a mini Jesus. You'd be like, he
Bro,
saved us all.
You haven't seen Armageddon still, huh?
Mm-mm.
Bro, I cry on that every time. I don't care who you are. Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about earlier with Ben Affleck, but yeah, Ben Affleck's in that movie. I actually seen this thing on him where he's like, I don't care for this fame. He's like, I never did. I actually don't even like really talking to people.
The dude, you know how you don't care about fame? I think cigarettes are just such a bad like look in general. Like I'd be embarrassed to like walk down the street smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
But this guy doesn't care. He's just like
Yeah.
a cigarette, not even like a
He
vape
looks
or
like
nothing.
a bum outside of the movies, bro.
Yeah, which actually we'll use that to lead us into the next topic. What the hell's going on with JLo and Ben Affleck? I don't know what I really don't know. It's just the weirdest relationship. He got into this relationship with JLo, and then they automatically start having issues. Her tour is not selling well. So she says, okay, we're going to cancel this tour, and says it's because of the marital issues, and they're automatically like not living together. They're automatically talking about all these things that are arising. Then he cites, this is crazy. He said that I only married her because I was like in a bad mental state. Had I been in a normal state of mind, I wouldn't have gotten married. Are you kidding me? How do you say that to any woman? How do you say that to any person and expect like, oh, it's almost like saying like, I only said I love you because I was drunk. If I wasn't drunk, I definitely would not have said that. Like, what do we do? How do you come back from that? So I don't know if it like where it's like source, but that rumor was going around and they don't sleep in the same bed. She canceled her tour, blamed the marriage, but really the truth is that her tour was not selling well. And it's just one of those things that like the report came out that he spent Father's Day weekend with his ex-wife, maybe with their kids. And it just doesn't make any sense. Eric, I know you stepped out, but the whole JLo and Ben Affleck thing, he basically said that I was in a bad, weird place mentally, in a weird state of mind. And if I had been in a normal, quote, normal state of mind, I wouldn't have gotten married with JLo. Like, how do you say that to someone? He said that recently. Yeah. So it's the weirdest freaking relationship. They reconciled after years of being apart. Then the news comes out this weekend. He spent Father's Day weekend with his ex-wife, and she was okay, and JLo was okay with it. Like, it's the weirdest freaking thing.
Is Jessica?
It's something Garner. Jessica Garner.
Jennifer Garner, bro. I'm surprised he didn't stay with her. Honestly, actually,
she seems like a good one. She seems
yeah,
like
I think she was. It's just I think like he's a weird dude.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, Ben Affleck's kind of a big weirdo.
But also, if I'm being honest, I feel like Jennifer Garner, like we fall in love with the look of what we see in the movies. I don't think she's probably that attractive outside of like with the fascination we get with like an entertainer.
But truly, I think that's kind of what makes her like, you're like, she's not the most like, you don't see her half naked in bikinis in these movies and all these things. And I feel like she's got a real mommy, like homie, wifey vibe to her. I don't know if I described that right. What, like 45? 45?
Bro, she's 52 years old.
Damn, Jennifer Garner. I did not know that.
I mean, if you're going to pick one of the Jennifers that stays looking young, probably go with Lopez. But Lopez probably has some issue. Remember she was with Diddy.
She was a Diddy, and then
That's weird.
you start to feel bad. She's like, "What did she go through and see?" Because she's been married like 18 times. I
Yeah.
don't know, and then she's going back to this dude, and that
Mark,
doesn't seem
she
to be
cheated on
working
Mark
out.
Anthony, I think.
She did.
With or she cheated on whoever she was with Mark Anthony. So no, she left Mark Anthony, and then she got with someone else, and cheated on a person, and then her and Mark Anthony did like a tour. And everyone kept telling her, like, kiss, like, best. And her and Mark Anthony kissed on stage. That was the end of that relationship.
That's wild.
But, all right, how old is Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez has got to be mid 50s, 56.
Pretty close. 54.
54.
Yeah.
54. It's. I mean, this takes nothing away from the kind of shape and work ethic she's built. She just... with movies and keeping herself in shape and all that. Remember the JLo booty used to be like a thing?
Yeah, Jenny from the block. But, she's going through a lot of shit. It's kind of effed up. She canceled her pretty much her tour.
So
she wasn't getting no sales.
Yeah, I talked about that while you were in the restroom. I was like,
cool.
It's been weird because she canceled her tour. She cited that it was marital issues with Ben Affleck. But the truth is, she wasn't selling. Her tour was just like, oh.
She had to cancel. First started she canceled like 3 tour spots, dates, because they didn't sell enough tickets. But let's be real, bro. I think her name to fame, like everyone fell in love with Jennifer Lopez when she became Selena in the movie. Like, I look at Jennifer Lopez as Selena, the real Selena. Like, growing up, when I was like, oh, there's Selena.
Yeah.
I couldn't, differentiate it for a while.
A lot of people feel that same way.
Until, Anaconda. Remember the movie Anaconda?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in that, too. Ice Cube and all that.
So, yeah, I mean, just weird stuff going on in that relationship, and I don't even know. It's like, what's the best thing? Is it just to end another marriage or try to fight through this? I don't know. But glad I'm not in that situation.
Read it here real quick. Ben Affleck will leave Jennifer Lopez depressed and looking for love when he moves on quickly to get over his feelings, says millionaire matchmaker Patty Stinger as she weighs in amid divorce rumors.
Yep.
Whoa.
And this
I didn't know this
relationship
was a
just
divorce
started,
rumor.
bro. Like, it just started. It's just going back to it well. It's like, hey, it didn't work here before. Let's go back. And this is why the whole thing about Ben Affleck saying, I wasn't in my right state of mind. I was kind of going through some stuff. I went and got married to Jennifer Lopez. But if I had been in a normal state of mind, I wouldn't have gotten married. How do you say that to anybody?
Yeah.
If someone said that to me, I'd be like, okay, clearly I'm not wanted or desired or loved here. You were just in a bad place, and I was a feel-good pill. I was your define for
Would you
a few
date her?
weeks.
Would you date her?
Jennifer Lopez?
Like, she's single. Ben Affleck leaves her, and somehow, for whatever reason, you guys cross paths. She's like, I'm looking to date someone younger, a little bit more energy, and knows what my life is. What's up, Vic?
I would go into it knowing that it's not going to work out. I'd be like, sure, yeah. Hey, let's get those Instagram follows up and these podcast numbers. It's kind of with the whole Travis Kelce thing. I'd be like, hey, he's tying himself to the biggest thing. I'd be like, hey, that'll do numbies for the podcast.
She just doesn't look fun to me outside of us seeing
Doesn't
whatever.
she seem kind of bitchy?
Yeah.
And I have no evidence to back that up, or it's just me. I feel like she'd be like, why are you going to the grocery store?
And honestly, the thing is this: they come from now they have so much money, bro. And they're used to being catered to. Imagine going to the beach with her. You didn't bring a chair. Why? Why am I in the sun? Did you pack some charcuterie boards for the beach? What? I just wanted a sandwich,
Yeah.
But bro, look at how miserable they both look.
Yeah.
And
oh
she
my
looks,
goodness. Yeah.
He looks scary almost, bro. What the hell is going on?
You know what I can't stand is being questioned about everything. She seems like she'd be like, who just texted you? Why'd your phone just go
Why'd
off?
you grow your beard out?
Yeah, why'd you grow the beard out?
Huh?
Who are you trying to impress?
Yeah. Why are your eyes red under your... Dang, bro, he looks like he's about to, jump off a balcony.
Yeah. So
She looks like she hits him with a chancla, honestly.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Either way, okay, yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, she does not seem fun. It does not seem enjoyable. At some point, folks, this is where I mean, it's okay to be single. You keep jumping into these relationships trying to find happiness and fulfillment or whatever it is that you're looking for. You're looking for it in a relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, JLo, take it easy. Relax. Be single. Find yourself. Work on yourself. It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
But you keep jumping in and out of these relationships and it keeps coming back. It's honestly making her look bad. It's making anyone who jumps in and out of relationships, it's not a good look.
Yeah, but I feel like 54. Do you really have some time to like, hey, I'm gonna slow it
But
down?
what are you gonna do? Get into another relationship and get another divorce? Like you just can't
this
keep
point,
doing the
at
repeating
this
the
point,
cycle.
just stay single and then like date. Just date.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible thing. So yeah, who knows what the hell's going on with that weird stuff. Not great news for people like myself and Eric. Somewhat, I know you've been working on this, but it says going to sleep late has many negative impacts on your mental health and overall health. They go on to explain, generally speaking, if you're going to bed until after 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, it's very likely you're not waking up until several hours after the sun has come up. And if you're not going to bed for several hours after the sun has gone down. So I think that's the issue. Being out of alignment with the environmental light dark cycle has potentially problematic. So I guess there's something within our sleep cycle where it's like when the sun is down, we're meant to sleep. When it's dark, we're meant to sleep. When the sun is up, you're meant to be awake.
Yeah, think about plants. It's a really easy reference, but bro, and check this out. You know this. I was going. Oh man, I want to say all last year. My schedule was pretty much go to bed at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, all the way up until even like 7 in the morning, or I was staying up 30 plus hours just to get back on a different track or whatever. But when I made the decision when I got sick last month, remember I lost enough like weight where I was like, oh shoot, 6-pack, let's start here, and
It's a good kickstart sometimes.
I mean, it's not showing as much, but I changed my sleep cycle. I started looking into things. Started drinking a little bit more water, waking up at my 4:30, going to the gym, working out, eating a little bit better, staying up throughout the whole day. Bro, I have not felt this good in so long. We talked about it. Remember when you work out, you have to be like, man, like, why did I stop?
Yep.
But we all know why we stopped, but it's just like, I don't want to stop.
Yeah. They go on to say it's important for our bodies to get strong signals in the daytime, which can come in the form of morning sun. And if you're getting those signals, if you aren't getting those signals, then your body's getting like mixed signals, and that can cause issues with your biology and could also affect your brain. So, I guess one thing that they've said is naps is a good kind of they suggested naps for people, let's say people who work overnight shifts, right? Or like stay like me, like my radio show ended at midnight. There's no way. I mean, I'm not home until 12:30, right? And then you shower and then you do whatever you got to do. And that was automatically at least 2-3 a.m., 2 on an early night. But it's just like they suggested naps to kind of get some kind of normalcy, but then again, it's not as effective because you're sleeping when the sun is up, and it's just like those sacrifices that people, have to make in certain situations. But if you can, and if it's within your control, try to get sleep as soon as the sun goes down. And look, I'm essentially talking to myself here because I'm one of the worst about this. Like, I will sleep maybe 4 hours a night, but I do take my nap. Like, there's no way I could sleep 4 hours a day and that's it, right? Yeah. Like, I squeeze in a nap just about every day, and that's the only way that this can function, because otherwise, 4 hours a day, you're sending yourself to an early freaking grave.
Yeah, so I would love to see, like, how much you enjoy it when you allow it. I think you still block out the idea of it because you're like, no, this is what I'm used to, and I need this for this reasons. But I feel like you can get to a 10:30 schedule, and you would love it.
But what I'm getting at is, and I don't know why or how, like, because if I need to be up at 7, 6, I have no problem. Like, if I have something to do or need to get it done, I have no problem doing it. But I do know that my brain just is way more effective, way more active, way more everything during certain times. And it's like, oh, let me wake up early. And it's just like, people are like, morning sun. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up,
because you didn't take a cold shower. I took a cold shower before I came here.
Good.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's so effective.
Gotta get you that $50 tub, man. Let's see. What else do we have here before we wrap it up? So yeah, if you can, if it's within your control, go ahead and get that sleep at quote unquote normal hours, even though I hate saying normal anything.
Yeah.
JT DWI this morning. Not sure exactly what that means, but
He's probably high.
yeah, probably on something. We're expecting like a record heat wave, and we're actually so in Bakersfield where we live. There is a giant fire in the 5. Have you seen that? What's going on here?
So you see Gorman. It's
Yeah.
big time right now.
It's crazy how fast these things spread.
Well, you know why a lot of it spreads even crazier than you think? A lot of times, say it's burning, that grass will get, it's on fire in the air. And then it's moving in the air, and then it drops like a mile away and starts another fire in the mountain that they were never having to focus on.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that happens. But I guess from what I heard, I haven't looked in detail, so I could be wrong on this, but I heard that there's like a mechanic shop that started, there was a fire, and it kind of spread on the grass, hit I heard McDonald's is pretty much done, the 76 gas station.
Oh, it's going to burn them down?
No, I already heard like they're
it's already done? Wow.
Down, yeah.
Well, what's crazy about that is I always think about this, and look, I know I sound like a total idiot saying this, but there's got to be something we like prevent. Fires seem so preventable within an earthquake. You can't predict that far in advance. But what if we had some kind of satellite pictures that detect? We have all this amazing technology in the world. We don't have anything that could kind of oversee and detect, hey, here's a fire. It's spread out 1 mile. 1 mile is easy to control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, catch it right away.
No. Again, what I just said. Bro, that dry grass, have you ever lit dry grass on fire, like in front of you? Like, see how it goes? It's almost like it landed on gasoline, bro. It spreads so fast.
That's crazy.
And that's why a lot of the times these fires, they contain them. Like, say you say that mile, right? They'll go outside of that mile radius, say another half a mile, and start, like, wetting the grass or digging it up or making sure they pour stuff on it so it can't go past that point.
Right.
But
so you're almost boxing it in.
You're trying to box it in, but have you ever seen the fires being purposely started on the Grapevine? Those are the preventatives to keep fires. But we're not even at the point, I feel like, for them to do that yet. So it kind of already happened. Fire's not going to happen after that.
Yeah. So every place like the
So
South.
yeah, city had to burn down for it.
Sir, the South has their tornadoes and things like that.
I don't know how.
Florida has hurricanes. We have earthquakes and fires. So that's that's kind of what we're all about.
Kind of sounds like a movie when you think about it.
Like everyone's got their issues.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, but I will say, I think we
We
get
had the
pretty
best
lucky when it
poison.
could. Yeah. But so anyways, that's what's going on. And we've had like a rare amount of wind. Have you noticed that? Like, it's been breezy and it's been beautiful. And I'm like, what a coincidence that right when we start having a fire, all this amazing breeze comes in, which kind of sucks because it's hurting that, but it's kind of feeling nice down here. I'm like, hey, this breeze is fantastic. I've been running during the day. I run at night. Like, I've been running during the day, and I try to avoid that during the summer.
Yeah, bringing in those fire fumes into your lungs.
Give it to me. Just smoked a pack on a 2-mile run. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Oh, last thing. Remember I told you, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong on this. You can help me decide that.
All right.
Remember we talked about Joey Chestnut getting banned from the hot dog eating contest on 4th of July? Okay, so remember I told you, I was like, there's always some kind of controversy. This is to push something. This is whatever it is. So literally the next day announced Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut going to be having a hot dog eating contest one-on-one on Netflix on September 2nd. So my whole thing was right. Now, I still think that they're going to be able to work something out for 4th of July, and they're going to be able to, like, hey, Joey Chestnut, back in the mix. We made it work with a sponsorship, whatever it is. But it was announced Netflix. I mean, and it makes sense.
But what hot dogs are they eating, though?
I don't know. I don't think it matters. The point is that...
Yeah, because what if they use Joey Chestnut's people and Netflix is the one bringing that together with a new sponsor, and they're allowing it? And that's why it's separate.
But this had to have been planned months in advance. This wasn't like, oh, Joey Chestnut's kicked out, let's get it all together. You got to work out contracts. You got to work out every single detail. But
Yeah,
It
but
was,
what if
it
they
was
got a
certain
whiff
to-
of that and they're like, all right, let's let
It was
these people
something
go.
to promote, something big. It's never what it seems. There's always something behind everything, and
Cause what did I
that's
say?
the world we live in.
I'm betting that they're probably gonna be like, no, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm saying, and our bet is still, I think that Netflix. This is why I didn't win the bet, but I guess I was right in the sense of like something's being promoted here, something's being brought attention to.
Yeah.
So I still think that the hot dog eating contest happens.
I think we have
with
to
Joey
find
Chestnut.
out what they're using, because from what this shows, it's pretty much saying how do we keep the competition alive against the two top hot dog eating contest eaters, and that's like, all right, Joey Chestnut is not part of the Nathans no more, and this person's part of the Nathans still. So Netflix is the only person in the middle that can say, hey, how about we host you guys and we bring some neutral hot dogs? You know, or like you guys get Nathan's and
Some,
Joey eats his.
What are the some ballpark Franks, baby?
Yeah. Ugh.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing develops. My whole thing is he's still gonna get in there to the Nathan's hot dog
Well,
eating
hear
contest.
this real quick. Where's the beef? For years, the rivalry Chestnut and Kobayashi dominate headlines at the Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest, but the two competitive eating legends have not faced off in a hot dog eating competition since 2009.
Yeah.
When Chestnut finally bested Kobayashi in a 5 hot dog sudden death eat off, the live event on September 2nd will be their first coming face to face in 15 years. The location and timing will be announced at a later date.
Yep. So there you go. There's something behind it. Okay, here's a little fun fact to send you off on. Here's a little something we like to call, in case you didn't know. 1 year ago today was a Titan submissible, whatever. Remember that little
That was a
submarine?
year ago
That was
today?
1 year ago today. Can you believe that? Happy anniversary to those fellas who made it. Oh, they didn't come back. But now there's already plans of doing another one. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen fast?
Yeah.
I feel like that happened real fast.
What was it called? Ocean Gate or something?
Yeah, I remember I was fully engaged in that. And that
bro,
was
it was-
because it had everything
We
that
were
you
so-
want in a story.
Yeah, and
because
we try to believe everything. Hey, the Navy heard an explosion down there. Really? Come on.
there
Like,
was
did we?
sonar. Yeah. And then I remember it had everything a good movie has. It has like, they haven't come up, but they're on a timer because if they don't come out, they're going to run out of oxygen by,
Yeah. Oh, it
within
was
the next
intense.
12 hours.
And then when you realize they're gonna die anyways, you're like, all right, so just find them now. But then, honestly, I'd only be down to go down there because if you really look at the rendering videos of what it shows what really happened, they died literally instantaneously. Like, bro, that
yeah,
thing
it
got-
wasn't like a bad slow death. So that's
They got
kind of
crushed
cool.
so bad, bro. They turned into the size of like a golf ball in the matter of like a millisecond.
Speaking of,
oh please
y'all ever
don't,
seen what I
please
can do
don't.
with
It is
that?
over
Do I
there,
have a
but
saw? I
don't-
do have a golf ball somewhere.
yeah, I'm gonna hide it.
I gotta show y'all what
That's
I can. It's
disgusting.
kind of impressive, honestly.
It's not impressive.
Okay, you ready to wrap up with a little trivia?
Yeah.
All right, before we get into trivia, brought to you by Rev Nutrition. Check them out all over Bakersfield. Whatever your needs, whatever your goals, they got your supplements. They've got your protein. They've got your hunger suppressants. They've got your fat burners. They've got your pre-workout. They've got your muscle builder. They got everything you need. Find them all over Bakersfield, North, East, South. Mention the podcast. Get 20% off of your purchase. Also, head down to the Mattress Space Furniture Outlet right here in Bakersfield on Buck Owens Boulevard. Again, mattresses, dining sets, sofas, whatever you need for your house, mattress sets and bedroom sets for under $500. All right, so go take care of yourself there. Tell our buddy C's we sent you. He'll take care of you, no doubt. All right, here we go. This is funny. The number one reason that people don't go outdoors, hiking, camping, right? They say is bugs, right? Like mosquitoes, which is understandable. This is reason number 2. So the number one reason why people don't go camping, hiking, they don't like going outdoors is because of bugs, insects, right? They don't want to sleep on the ground. They don't want to deal with the mosquitoes. That's the number one reason. What's reason number 2 that people don't want to go outdoors?
The weather?
No, not the weather. And it'll make so much sense when either you get it or or I tell you what it is.
Okay.
So weather, no.
Okay. Let me put some thought. I want to. It sounds bad, but because you're like most people don't want to go because they're like out of shape type of thing. But I don't want to. I'm not using that one.
He said, "I'm not using that.
I'm
That
not
doesn't
using that
count."
one. But so I'm gonna say the distance, like the planning type of thing, like to get there.
Okay, so the commute, like commute from
Some
from
people are like,
wherever
oh, I
the
want to
travel.
hike, but they're like, I don't want to go to LA to go to that spot and do the hike. Maybe.
It's a fair answer, but not the answer we're looking for. So the number one reason people gave for not wanting to go outdoors hiking or camping is bugs. Reason number 2 was the bathroom situation, not having a bathroom near them.
Nah, I'll take a forest dump, bro.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are the best. You take a couple dude wipes out there, and you're just like, ooh. You almost pretend to be a bear. You're like, I'm a bear out here.
Yeah, until you actually see a bear freaking just chasing at you while you're.
You know what's funny is that like, and I know I'm 100% wrong on this. I love bears. So bears probably my favorite animal, like grizzly bears.
Hey, bear.
And I see them, and I'm just like, I know one would hug me, and I know I'm wrong, but like I was just
hug you and rip you apart.
Exactly. But you know what? That'd be one way that I'd be like totally cool with dying. I'd be like, you know what? I was part of the circle of life. I fed this guy and hopefully his family.
Yeah.
For a little bit. But that's going to wrap it up for our show. Thank you so much for rocking with us. We'll be back with you. Check it out on, we're all over socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. I'm at Vic D Radio. That is our producer, Eric, inside the Creative Haven, brought to you by the Creative Crew. Check it out. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everywhere you can find it. Until next time, I love you. Say it back. Que sueñen con los angelitos. I love you. Say it back.
Peace.